Hello and welcome back to the Grubfathers, and in today's video I am going to be showing you how I make Neapolitan-style pizza, and I'm absolutely a beginner in doing this, but if you're also a beginner, maybe you can learn from what I do, and maybe if I make any mistakes you can see. Today I'm going to start by making the dough. Bloody cat, get out of the way, so annoying today, this cat. And I'm going to make enough dough for 5 pizzas, so 5 dough balls. I've got 830 odd grams of 00 flour, that's important. And I've got 500 millilitres of water, room temperature water. I've got some dry yeast, and I will need some salt as well. But to start with, I'm just going to put the water. Oh, cat, what are you doing? Okay, so I'm going to start by adding the 500 millilitres of water into my large mixing bowl here. And the first thing I'm going to do is add sort of nearly a teaspoon of dried yeast, and then add that to the bowl and start sort of stirring it. Everything I spilt on the side into there. And then what I'm going to do is just sort of stir that around to activate the yeast. Get it doing its job. I'm then going to add about 10% of this flour into here and just sort of mix it together. Just want to get a sort of creamy looking mixture all mixed in, just a creamy looking water basically, and that'll just get the yeast activated. Now this recipe, I didn't make it up. I took inspiration from another YouTube channel called Vincenzo's Plate. So if you haven't seen that YouTube channel, do go and check it out. He's a fantastic Italian guy, shows you all sorts of Italian recipes. Get away, cat. The cat keeps trying to eat the camera. Oh, idiot. So he's really good, so I definitely recommend following him. Have a look at his videos. He's done some stuff with some really top-end Italian chefs as well. So he knows what he's talking about, and I don't. Okay, so now I'm going to sort of start adding in more flour bit by bit and stirring it in, and then add more and repeat until we've got pretty much all of the flour in there. I'm going to do it bit by bit, that's important. Now I'm doing it with my hand, which keeps a nice temperature in the water, but if you've got a stand mixer, then you know you can use one of those. You'll do this process a lot quicker, but it's quite fun doing it by hand. I quite enjoy it. You do get messy though, so be prepared to get flour and water all over your hands. Make sure you don't get it on your nice clothes, like I've got my nice clothes on here, so hopefully I don't get any on my shirt or my lovely new jeans. It's starting to thicken up now. Oh, it's looking good. And as it gets thicker, it gets a lot harder. You start feeling your chest and everything engaging. It's a workout. Oh, it's looking good though. Wow. Okay, it's getting to the point now where we can start kneading the rest of the dough, the rest of the flour, into the dough, because it's quite hard, so you can't really mix it anymore. Not by hand anyway. So what we'll do is just make sure it's all, everything in the bowl is combined, and then put some of my flour on the table here. Get that dough in there. Now it's just a case, get all this dough off my fingers, so it really has stuck to that. So we're really just going to work the dough into the table, pushing my whole hand through it like this, and that sort of gets the temperature into the dough as well as just picking up all the flour that we put on the surface here. And then as it starts to soak all of that flour up, we add a bit more. So we just keep doing that until we've basically used up all of that flour. Then we can put it back into the bowl and we'll prove it overnight. Actually, what we need to do before I forget is add the salt. Did about 5 pinches of salt. And that salt will sort of dissolve into the dough as we go from the heat and the moisture that's in the dough. If you're an Italian and you've been doing this all your life, I do apologise if I get anything wrong here, but this is just how I make it. Easy way of doing it, which I think anyone, including idiots like myself, can do. How do we know if the dough is ready? Well, what we need to do is poke it, and if it starts to bounce back like it's a bit elasticated, then you know you've got some good dough. It's not perfect, so I might just need it a little bit longer to work it in. Okay, so I'm happy with my dough, so I'm going to put it in the bowl, leave it to rest and proof overnight, put some cling film over the top, and then check back in tomorrow. Right, so the dough has risen overnight very nicely. Have a look at this. It's got stuck to my cling film, but look at that structure of the dough. This cat all day yesterday, look at that. That is what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do now is make this into dough balls. I've got 5 balls worth of dough. Now you should really make it into dough balls and leave it for about 4 hours before you start cooking. But I'm actually going to pop it, we're going to eat in about 2 hours. So I'm going to pop it in the fridge for about half an hour once I've put it into balls, then take it out. The reason for that is that it sort of makes it easier to deal with if you're not an expert. If you're an expert and you're used to the real flexibility of the dough, then you'll be okay, but it's very easy to make a hole in it and ruin it basically. If you've made a hole in it, then the air's gone, you have to start again. There we have the dough. Now I'm going to separate it into sort of 250 to 260 gram balls. Where's my dough cutter? Right, so I've got a little scales here, electric scales. Once you get really good at this, you could do it all by eye, but just to make sure, I'm going to do it by measuring it. So that's one, let's see, 250. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do, get some flour on me, and just tuck it in underneath so that it sort of seals the ball. We want a nice round ball, sort of get a sealed bottom almost. And then if you really want to seal off the bottom, you can just do that on the work surface. That's it. Oh, the fucking cat goes everywhere. Go! Right, so now I'm going to put that. I've got this little tray here. So I'm going to put 3 balls on here that we're going to have today, and then I'm going to have 2 that I'll put in the fridge and keep in there for a couple of days that I'll have another night. So I'm just going to flour this tray so that it doesn't get stuck, because it will get stuck because it's very moist. Plenty of flour in there. Right, so that's one dough ball. See if I can get it right first try this time. 225, not far. I didn't put the dough in the fridge because there wasn't any space, but it's probably for the best. Now it's been in its dough balls for 2 hours. They look good. Look at that. So that is a pretty perfect dough ball, if you ask me. That looks very nice. So we're going to spread them out. I'm not very good at this, stretching them out. You get a knack, so each time I do it I get a little bit better, but I would say I'm not very good. So you want some flour on the surface, which we've got some here, and then some on my hands so it doesn't get stuck to me. Start with this one. I want to pin it up without sort of deforming its shape, and then what we'll do is press down on the middle without pressing the edges, because if you press the edges you'll get rid of all the air, and that's what you want with a Neapolitan pizza. You want that crust. So start by doing that.
You just use a rolling pin?
No, because you'd roll all the air out, so you'd ruin it. So if you want to make a thin, crispy pizza, which I wouldn't recommend doing all this with the dough to get it all nice and airy, because you'd be wasting time. But if you rolled it, you'd just literally get all the air out. And then we're going to pick it up from underneath and just sort of, I mean, this is, I'm not very good at this, but stretch it like that. It's very nice dough. What I want to be careful of doing is not making a hole. So now I'm going to put some toppings on. Now you could make a proper nice sauce and put some things in it, but all I've got here is chopped tomatoes. I'm going to sprinkle a bit of salt and herbs on it. So I'm cheating basically, I can't be bothered.
8 inches.
Yeah, but what happens is when you put it onto the peel, which I'll show you in a minute, it stretches even more, and it helps to stretch it when you've got some toppings on there. Now I bought some pizza mozzarella from Tesco's because it's nice and dry. Now normal mozzarella can be really moist, and it sort of makes the pizza go really wet, so it doesn't really work properly. So I've still got more ingredients to put on there, but I'm just going to get this here. This is a pizza peel, it's called, and that's what we're going to put the pizza on to transfer it into the pizza oven. So I have got a pizza oven, which I will show you in a minute. Now it's hard to make this kind of pizza in a normal oven because it only reaches 250 degrees, and you need hot instant heat, 450 degrees Celsius, and a nice hot slate that it goes on. And that's what the pizza oven, which is outside getting nice and hot, is currently heating up to a lovely temperature. So I'm going to sprinkle some flour onto the peel, because the last thing I want, which has happened to me before, is for this to get stuck when you shove it in, and then you sort of just end up with a massive congealed mess. Half of it's in the oven, half of it's not, and it all just burns on the bottom, so we really don't want that to happen. So I tend to put it on something like this, so it's at a height, and then you can put it on like that, and we're just going to stretch it like this. Okay, now I'm going to add a bit more toppings, because now I've stretched it out, it needs a bit more sauce, otherwise it might burn. Well, I've got ham. That's what you're having. You happy with ham on a pizza? Right, so got some honey roast ham. Probably not very Italian, really, but it tastes nice. And I've got some fresh basil here, which I'll put on afterwards, because if I put it on now it'll burn. So
What about pineapple?
Absolutely not.
You want to
So,
tell a pineapple story?
well, what pineapple story? Oh right, I didn't know the story. You'll have to tell it. But if you ask an Italian to put pineapple on a pizza, they'll most likely spit at you and tell you to F off. So I wouldn't recommend asking for that in a proper Italian restaurant. Now what I'm going to do is sprinkle some extra virgin olive oil. I've got in this lovely pot. Got some nice pottery in this kitchen. These are my favourites. Gerard, Jean-Nicolas Gerard. He's a French potter. Keep my tea bags in there. Keep my rice in here. Looks like a big, you know what. It's very nice. So if you like nice pottery, then you can have a look at Goldmark Gallery. They're very nice. Now just sprinkle this like that. Now let's put this one in the oven. So this is a Gozney pizza oven. If you want to sponsor us, Gozney, then let us know. But this is a temperature sensor. You have got a temperature gauge on the side, but it's nice to know because you can just see how much it is. So 430 degrees, so it's spot on. So let's keep our fingers crossed that this will come off. Ready? Oh, perfect. I'm a bit worried then. So this should take only about a minute and a half to cook. And I've got this, which is a pizza turning peel. So you just scoop that under. Oh my God, what is that? It's a hornet. Oh my God, it's a hornet. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's a natural hornet. What are you doing? You should be dead by now. Oh no. Oh, well, this is going to ruin the pizza, the hornet. Oh God, it's the worst nightmare. This is looking good. I guess this can be Mum's because she's... And literally once it starts to brown, it's just a case of turn, and if you think one bit needs a bit more, you sort of lift it up towards the flame at the back. It's looking good. Okay, now I think that's ready to take out. So I'm going to go back to this one. Looks alright, doesn't it?
Amazing.
Beautiful. Okay, now normally the first one is a bit of a learning curve, and then the next couple will come out better, but that one's actually come out pretty nice, I think. Cheese like cheddar cheese and things like that shouldn't go on a pizza like this, a traditional Neapolitan pizza. You just want mozzarella. And this mozzarella isn't particularly good, if I'm honest with you, but normal mozzarella is too moist. So I need to find somewhere that do proper pizza mozzarella. So if you've got any recommendations, let me know in the comments. Where's my cheese grater? To finish off with some basil.
Right, thank you very much. So, a Darcy from the Grubfathers homemade pizza. Let's see what it's like. Smells nice.
Not hearing anything, is that bad?
No, it's good. It's very, very tasty. I can't believe how quickly it cooks.
Yeah.
But it's really lovely. It's nice and fluffy. It's not heavy. Lovely flavours. Very simple, but very effective. Just what a pizza should be. So the dough is lovely. The heat of the oven just cooks it instantly. So you can taste a sort of not a burnt flavour, but a sort of a charred, which gives it extra flavour. Perfectly good. Easy to make, very simple. I haven't made pizzas for a while. I used to make them a lot. We would just mix up the flour, normal bread flour, without yeast, roll it out with a rolling pin into a circle, put it all on, bung it in the oven. They kind of turn out all right. Not as fluffy as this. So this has got yeast in it, so it's had time to rise. It does make a difference, but if you are in a super rush, it's still okay, but the hard thing is to get the base to cook without the top burning. So there's a knack to it.
Now, this is my one. I always make mine last because I'm the chef. And what I did was put the basil in the oven to prove a point and show you what happens. And it wilts and sort of burns basically. It looks all right, it's not overly burnt, it still tastes nice. This is pretty much a perfect slice, I would say. Lovely char on the crust. And look at the structure inside there. You've got lovely airy pockets. That is a beautiful, beautiful dough. Absolutely stunning. So if you want to try this at home, give it a go. And the best thing is to get a pizza oven. But I'm going to see whether this is the best pizza I've made so far, hopefully. Whoa. Oh, that's by far the best pizza I've ever made. The flavour of the Parmesan really lifts the whole thing. The ham, the honey roast ham is really nice. Adds a lovely flavour. The dough is just perfection. Absolutely beautiful. And you've got that sort of leoparding on the bottom. See the little black spots? That all adds flavour to the pizza. The tomato, even though it's basic, just chopped tomatoes from Aldi, they taste nice. They're a lovely flavour. I wouldn't use passata or anything like that because it's already a sort of partially cooked sauce. So it just dries out when you put it in a really hot pizza oven. Whereas this cooks lovely, beautifully in the oven. Oh, that's lovely. So, if you're new around here, make sure you're subscribed. We are going to be trying the best food and the worst food in the world. Travelling around, we're going to India later in the year to try some of the best food in the world. And this week, we're going to a Chinese restaurant in Leicester and they serve the world's hottest soup. It's absolutely blow your head off hot. So we're going to be trying that in the next video, so if that sounds good to you, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get notified when we next post. See you next time.